Sometimes a person can have it all. A life that from the outside looks absolutely perfect. And then they can just burn it all to the ground. This is a story about a man who did exactly that, and how, at his lowest point, with absolutely nothing left, he was found by a single verse written 2,000 years ago in an old notebook.
Just look at this. This was his world, Vikram's world. A good job, a wife who loved him, a little boy. It's the kind of life built on promise. But he took it apart, piece by painful piece, trading everything that mattered for things that were, well, completely worthless in the end. And that contrast between who he was and what he became, that's the heart of this story.
And this is where it all led. 2 o'clock in the morning at a bus stand in Chennai. He's 35 years old, totally alone, just clutching an old beat-up notebook. It's that deep kind of lonely, the kind where you feel like you've been completely erased from the world. Let's just be really clear about what rock bottom looks like for him. In just 3 short years, he has systematically destroyed everything. There is no safety net, no home, no family to call, no job to give him a reason to get up in the morning. He is utterly and completely adrift. So he opens that old notebook, and his eyes land on these words. Think about this. This verse was written 2,000 years ago by the poet Thiruvalluvar. But for Vikram, right then, it felt like it was written just for him. He's not just reading it. For the first time, he feels it, like the words are seeing right through him. So how does a guy get here? How does a life with so much potential just completely unravel? To really get it, we've got to go back 3 years, right to the beginning of the end. 3 years before that bus stand, Vikram was a different man. He was a successful sales manager, had a wonderful wife, Meena, and their 5-year-old son, Karthik. But he had a fatal flaw, the kind that just poisons everything it touches, a massive ego. He always had to be right. And his go-to line, the one he used to shut down any conversation, "My life, my business." And here's the chain reaction, the dominoes falling one by one. It all starts at work. He loses a huge deal. His boss tears into him. His ego just can't take it, so he finds a crutch, alcohol, every single night. When his wife Meena begs him to stop, he just meets her concern with pure anger. The last domino falls when Meena sees the look in their son's eyes, and she knows she has to leave.
And this is the moment right here. This exchange is everything. This isn't just a fight. Her plea is for their family, for their son. But his reply? It's pure ego. My life, my business. In that single moment, he stops being a husband, stops being a father. He's just an island, pushing everyone away.
2. That's the number of years he lost after Meena left. 2 years of just drifting. A month on a friend's couch here, another month at his brother's place there, burning every single bridge along the way. People tried to help, but he just wouldn't see that he was the problem. His ego was just too stubborn, and it was costing him everything.
Now, during those 2 lost years, one moment stands out. It's the most painful of all. The day he decides to call his son on his birthday. But what do you even say? How do you possibly explain the silence, the absence that you created out of your own shame? He finally makes the call. His son, Karthik, picks up. And all the boy says is, "Appa? Dad?" It's a question, but it's filled with so much hope. And for Vikram, that one word is a knockout punch. The shame is so heavy it feels like it's crushing his throat. He can't get a single word out. He just cries, silently, and then hangs up, leaving his son on the other end, just waiting. And that memory, that crushing failure as a father, brings us right back to where we started, the bus stand. 2 in the morning. Vikram, at the absolute bottom, holding that notebook with words he's about to finally understand.
He reads the verse again, but this time it isn't just poetry, it's a diagnosis. The words become a mirror, and in them he sees the reflection of the last 3 years of his life. Those without love keep everything for themselves. And it hits him with this horrifying clarity.
See, the verse uses this Tamil word, anbilar. It means the one without love. And in that moment, Vikram realizes, that's me. What did I keep for myself? I kept my pride, I kept my anger, I kept my stubbornness. I gave nothing real to Meena. I gave nothing to Karthik. The verse says a person with love would give their very bones, and he couldn't even give his son a single word on the phone.
And this is the revelation, the big shift. He finally gets it. Love isn't some passive thing that just happens to you. It's an active choice, a choice you have to make every single day. And for 3 years, he had consistently and stubbornly chosen himself. He chose his ego over his family every time.
So this realization, it doesn't just stay in his head. The very next morning, he does something. He makes a different choice. And you know, the first step back from rock bottom, it isn't some huge dramatic gesture. It's small, it's quiet, and it means everything.
He just goes to his son's school, stands at the gate at 8 a.m., and waits. He doesn't have a big plan. He just knows he has to be there. And then Karthik sees him, and for a second, the boy just freezes, trying to process it. And then he runs. Appa! They hug, and it feels like 3 years of pain and distance just wash away in that moment.
Meena's there, watching from a distance, and when he finally speaks to her, the words are different. There's no ego, no demands. It's just a raw, honest plea. He doesn't ask her to trust him. He knows that's too much to ask. He just asks for the chance to earn it back, because he knows words are cheap. He has to show her.
But showing her, that's not a one-and-done thing. This is the beginning of a long, hard road. Fast forward 6 months, and we start to see what choosing love actually looks like in the real world, day after day.
The change is real. You can see it. Where he used to explode with anger, he now walks away, cools down, and comes back to talk. The nightly drinking, replaced by weekly AA meetings. Ignoring his son, now every Saturday is their day at the park. He's replacing every single destructive habit with a constructive choice. He's finally learning how to listen.
One day at the park, Karthik asks him, "Appa, will you come back?" And Vikram gives him the only honest answer he has. It's not some big empty promise. It's something much more powerful. "I can't promise that I will, but I promise that I will try." It's a promise of effort. And really, that's the only kind of promise that matters. A year into this new life, Vikram reads that verse again. The words are the same, but he's different. What once felt like a harsh judgment now feels like a guide. It's not a mirror showing him what he lost anymore. Now, it's a compass, showing him the way home. Later that night, he pulls out that old notebook. Right underneath that ancient verse, he adds his own words, a lesson he learned the hard way. He writes, "Love is not a feeling, it is an action." And he signs his name. Then he just peeks into his son's room, sees him sleeping peacefully, and maybe for the first time in a long time, feels a little peace himself. Vikram's story is such a powerful reminder, isn't it? That it's never too late to choose action over ego, to choose doing over feeling, and to start that long walk back to the people you love. If this story of a second chance resonated with you, go ahead and subscribe for more explainers on transformation.